What is good, everyone? My name is OJ and welcome to another News Essence video. Today, we're gonna take a little bonus look at another interesting article about a potential Nintendo Switch revision that has improved specs, more RAM, and just a better system, I guess, overall, based on some of the stuff that data miners have found, in addition to some new information here. Now, we did talk about this just a bit ago. I made a video saying that Nintendo will do a revised Switch based on their past history, and I had a bunch of people tell me, oh, well, Nintendo said that they're not going to do that, even though no, Nintendo never came out and said that they're not going to do that. So let's go ahead and get into some of the topics here first in terms of what the article says. Then we'll kind of analyze things. I'll go over my 2 cents in terms of it and bring out some comparisons why I do feel that this revision is going to happen. Now, I don't know if the specs and everything that they're saying in here is going to be true as far as 8 gigabytes of RAM, but we'll just have to wait and see if this actually comes into fruition. So let's go ahead and get right into it first. And shout outs to Go Nintendo for the article here. Recently, we saw that data miners found some interesting info in the latest Switch firmware update. The juiciest tidbit was info that pointed to a revision of the Tegra 210 that the Switch currently uses. Long story short, evidence points to the Nintendo Switch using the Tegra 214 in an upcoming revision, and this was thought to be in response to a boot ROM exploit. It seems like the story started and ended there, but now we have a rumor of even more revision evidence surfacing. The latest snooping brings out rumors of further revisions in the works for the Nintendo Switch. Supposedly, there's information that mentions both a bump in RAM and a new PCB. The Nintendo Switch currently has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and the revision would double that, making for 8 gigabytes total. As for the PCB update, we don't have any concrete info on what it would be upgraded to. Again, this is all rumor and speculation right now, but based off the data mine info from the latest firmware update, even if a revision is in the works, it could be something that's only for dev units only and wouldn't make it into retail versions for consumers. Only time will tell, but I would doubt that there would be some type of revised dev kit for developers, but then not be a retail version, considering that I think that the original dev kits can already boost the amount of RAM. So that doesn't make sense to me in terms of that last bit or that last part. If it was for dev kits and everything like that, then that would point to Nintendo doing a revised version later down the line. I mean, why give them that if they already had access? From what I understand, dev kits can have access to more RAM if they needed it for whatever reasons. So that doesn't really make sense to me. It seems to me, like I said before, because I'm steadfast on the boat that there is going to be a revision, and some people are saying, no, well, Nintendo said that they're not going to do that, but no, that was not the case. The Wall Street Journal reported that they have, I guess, sources that said that based off of Tatsumi Kimishima saying that, oh, we're focusing on Labo. But that doesn't mean that Nintendo's not already thinking about the next hardware revision. This is something that Nintendo has always done. We can take a look at a couple systems here, guys. This is the original Nintendo 3DS that launched back in 2010, 2011. The original one in terms of what it can do graphically, has the 3D and everything, it has unstable 3D. This is almost like a test version of what the perfect form of the Nintendo 3DS is, and that is this right here. Now, this Nintendo 3DS has super stable 3D, so it has much better 3D viewing angles. You can kind of tilt it and turn it like this, and you're not going to lose it. It has the tracking on there. It has improved RAM. It has improved graphics to where it can run games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3D on the Nintendo 3DS. This game only works on the new Nintendo 3DS and will not work on the regular 3DS. So if anyone's thinking that Nintendo isn't going to revise a system that's essentially, okay, you can hold it as if it's a portable, which they've revised their portables dating all the way back to the Game Boy with Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, adding in enhanced features for visuals, even with the color. That was a big deal back then. On top of that, you have the Nintendo, the DSi, adding the shop that actually boosted RAM. Nintendo has revised every single one of their handheld or portable systems. On top of that, Nintendo has basically left the door open for revisions, considering all they used was the base stock Tegra in terms of the Tegra X1. I mean, and to me, that just opened up the door in terms of what they were going to do going forward in the future. I felt that they're going to do a revision. Now, once again, this is a rumor, so I'm not sitting here and saying that this is 100%, but I've always believed, as soon as I saw that stock Tegra, as soon as I saw kind of what they were trying to do, I think Nintendo was trying to take the safest route possible in terms of if this system failed. There's multiple different areas that they can go, or if they needed to improve the system, they'd be able to improve it very easily based on what they were doing there. They could wait a little bit, they can wait till the RAM gets cheaper and then put that extra bump in RAM in order to get some of the newer games coming out. And like I stated in my previous video, I do feel that it would be in the next year or 2 years that we could see some type of revision based on this information right here and based on what Nintendo's done in the past. And to be honest, I'm not really basing it on these rumors or anything. I'm basing it purely on what Nintendo's done in the past and how they decided to put together this system, the Nintendo Switch. It's fairly obvious that Nintendo wanted to try to cover as much ground as possible, but then again, not break the bank in the process. Let's not make this thing the almighty powerful thing and put so much resources into it, because if it didn't work out, then what do? Let's give us some options just in case that we need to maneuver, just in case that if it doesn't do so well, what can we do to make it do better? Okay, maybe we can put out a revision. We just have a stock Tegra in here. There's lots of room to grow in terms of what we need to do. We have a dock, we have patented supplemental computing devices. We can turn it into more of a home console if we need to. If we want, we can turn this thing straight into a portable if we need to drop the price. If people aren't playing it docked, or if they just want to play it as a portable, Nintendo included so many options to get out of there. They were like a quarterback out there, like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, looking through all their options and picking the best one as soon as they identify it. And that's what Nintendo's done so far. And I think that now that the Nintendo Switch is a confirmed success in terms of what they want to do, bring on the revisions, bring on what you can do going forward, and still have that backwards compatibility, because you're going to be using the Tegra. There's already better parts that you can use at a cheaper price if you're going to wait a couple of years. 8 GB of RAM by the time that this thing is in full production, if there is that, it's not going to be as expensive as back in 2011 to 2013 when the PS4 and the Xbox One were being developed. So you're going to save money there. So I think that this is a brilliant idea. Obviously, Nintendo's done it before in the past. The new Nintendo 3DS is doing extremely well. The new Nintendo 2DS is doing extremely well too. Nintendo knows how to make those systems in terms of the revisions when it comes to portable devices. And I think that the Nintendo Switch is the ultimate hybrid / portable device out there. I think it's the best one ever made when it comes to dedicated game consoles. Heck, it might be the only real dedicated hybrid ever made when it comes to video game systems from the big three. I mean, I don't really count the PSP much, or the PS Vita or the PS Vita TV, all that. That wasn't dedicated like this system is in terms of hybrid capabilities. So I'm all with it here. I'm all down for it. I'm all with it. I think it's going to happen. We're starting to see more evidence surface, and I just wanted to kind of spend another video talking about this because I do feel that it's going to happen. I think doubling the RAM wouldn't be a problem at all, and I think that a lot of these games that maybe potentially couldn't come to Nintendo Switch, or maybe we're not seeing as good as graphics, those could be remedied with this brand new revision in the next couple years and still be potentially powerful enough to handle whatever's coming next when it comes to it. But I do feel that with Nintendo doing a revised Nintendo Switch with more RAM that's more powerful, Nintendo Switch Pro, Nintendo Switch New, or new Nintendo Switch, whatever you want to call it, I do feel that that gives them also a lot of flexibility with the pricing of the original Nintendo Switch, right? Like right now, it's $299 here in the US, and they could drop that by $50. They could drop that by $100 based on how powerful the system is or not. And you can have more of an option in terms of affordability for others out there. So that's obviously really good for the system as well. And kind of like I stated before, man, Nintendo can really just go in different ways with this. And I just love the approach if it does turn out to be true, because it's worked. It's pretty much worked for every single system Nintendo's done. They've always had competitive prices when it comes to the portable devices out there and offering different models. So what do you guys think about this potential revision for the Nintendo Switch? Do you guys think it's going to happen too? What are your thoughts on the information here? Let me know what you guys have to say in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.